So I'm walking through the Broadhead Creek Heritage Center, and you might ask what that has to do with the abandoned Penn Hills Resort. Well, this used to be the Penn Hills golf course, and something good happened after Penn Hills was no more. The county got the property and turned it into a nature sanctuary. It's open to the public. There's a beautiful building up by the parking lot. There are grass paths like the one I'm on that are maintained, and gravel paths as well. There's a pond. You come pretty close to the Broadhead Creek. It's something positive that came out of the abandonment of Penn Hills. Unfortunately, across the creek where the resort was, it's a pile of junk. Penn Hills started as a tavern in 1944 and lasted until 2009 when it closed its doors for good. Just about 2 months after one of its co-founders passed away at the age of 102. So where the Heritage Center is a positive, the buildings across the way is a negative. You know, I understand the intrigue of wanting to explore abandoned places. They're time capsules. You can step back in time different decades to see how things once were. I don't understand those that have shown up to destroy the place. Broken windows, doors kicked in, recent fires has turned the place into a disaster. So even for those who want to defy the no trespassing signs and get a glimpse of what was, they can't anymore. It's just a pile of junk. I used to work there on occasion as a musician in a band back in my musician days in the early 90s, early to mid 90s. And you could see the writing on the wall then. You could see the decor was outdated. The carpet was becoming worn. The crowds were getting thin. It was the end of an era. And if you watch some of my other videos, you'll see that I cover some other resorts as well in this area. I watched over the decades that era come to a close, and Penn Hills is just another one of them. So let's get up in the air and take a look overhead. I'll show you around. Hope you enjoy it, and stay tuned, because at the end of this segment we're going to do the drink of the week. See you soon. Hey, welcome to the Drink of the Week segment. In this episode, we're going to steer away from our own hobbyist winery and we're going to go outside into the world of whiskey. And we're going to take a look at Dad's Hat, Pennsylvania rye whiskey. This is distilled in Bristol, Pennsylvania, and I've been anxious to try this for some time. A rye whiskey needs to be 51% rye, and usually the rest is made up of a malted barley and some corn. Rye whiskey was very popular in Maryland and Pennsylvania in the pre-Prohibition years. But during Prohibition, rye was expensive, corn was cheaper, so corn whiskeys and bourbons sort of took the lead. Although rye now is making a comeback. If you're not a rye drinker, you'll find the rye to be a little spicier than the corn whiskeys. This is aged a minimum of only 8 months in quarter casks, little small barrels, usually with a honeycomb type of finish inside of American oak. And because of the increased wood to liquid ratio, they can age this in about 8 months, as opposed to some whiskeys where you'll see in the full-size barrels being aged 4 to 8 years. Now, whether it's as good or not, I don't know. It's quite effective though. So let's give this a shot. My favorite rye is a rye called 1776, which is very punchy, lots of spiciness. They must really go heavy on the rye and the ingredients. And this is much gentler. This is a gentle rye, but the spice is there, but it's not knocking you out. If you're not a rye drinker, you might go for this. It's very earthy, very woodsy. That oak really comes through, and it's surprising for something that's only been in a barrel for 8 months, which shows it's quite an effective technique in reducing the aging time. It's 90 proof. That's 45% alcohol by volume. That's a little up there. Usually you see 40 to 43 in some of your bourbons. Vodkas and tequilas are about 40, so it's got a little strength to it. I think it deserves the comments I've seen on the internet for it, and I think it deserves the awards it's won. I do enjoy that. I really do. And as I said, I think even if you're not a rye drinker, you'll probably like the balance between the sweetness and the spiciness. Job well done by Dad's Hat. Hey, thanks for watching. If you're enjoying any of this, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It helps me out greatly. And we will see you down the road.